Hello children, welcome to the video lectures of Social Science Standard 10th. This is the fourth video lecture of chapter number 10th. In the previous lecture, we saw about distribution of areas under irrigation. Okay, we saw how different states have different percentage of irrigation areas under irrigation. We also saw about the water crisis, why water crisis is there, what are the main reasons for water crisis, and how water crisis is making the life of the people hard. We also saw that how industries are the main reasons for water crisis, and irrational use of water is also one of the major reasons for it. Today we will see how to manage the water, how to conserve the water. We will also see watershed development, rainwater harvesting, and the main objectives of rainwater harvesting into it. So let us start. Management and conservation of water resources. Now see, understand these words: management and conservation. Now what is management? Now you know about this, that management means to manage, how to handle it. Okay, how to handle it. While conservation means to preserve or to carefully take care of it and see that it is increased in the future, or it can be used by the future generation also. We all know that the availability of water is in limited quantity. Now this needs to be understood. The faster we understand, the better it will be for us, that the availability of water is limited. Its distribution is also unequal. We know this, right? Along with there is a problem of water pollution also. Water pollution is one of the major problems. Okay, that is why it is necessary to use the water economically. See, we need to use the water economically to see that the water is used maximum in the optimum way, and to conserve the available water, right? Whatever water we have, we need to conserve it, we need to protect it, we need to save it for the future generation too. Water is such a resource which is directly associated with the entire living organism. Say, this is a very important line. Water is such a resource which is directly associated, connected with the entire living organism. All the living organism on the world cannot live without water, and they are all connected with this single thing, that is the water. Okay, the remedies to conserve water are to be done at different states. See, remedies means solution. Okay, we need to find solutions to conserve the water at different stages. Now it can be different at different places. Like at domestic place, we can protect water, we can conserve water by using one water into more than one ways. By, like, suppose the water which is used into your washing machine can be used to clean the toilets, because that water is with soap and that thing, and it can easily clean the toilets. Same way, the water which is used for, say, uh, uh, or which comes out of the RO plants that are installed at our places can be used to water the garden at our place. So the water which is with us can be used in multiple ways, and we need to find the solutions of it. The maintenance of water resource is known as water conservation. This can be the definition. The maintenance of water resources is known as water conservation. Okay, some general remedies of water conservation are as follows: more construction of reservoir. Say, more construction of reservoir of the water storage. So water storage. Okay, you need to store as much water as possible. Many times it happens that there is excessive rain, but the water flows into the river or directly into the sea, and it is non-usable. Okay, so we need to see that more construction of reservoirs are done so that more water can be stored. Connecting two river basins and bringing the groundwater at higher level. This is very important, to bring the groundwater level at a higher level, because most of the people living in town or villages are using ground level water more, and the more the ground level water, the better the usage. Water is a national resource. This is remembered. Water is not a property of a single person, it is a national resource, and that's why it needs to be protected. The next point is watershed development. Watershed development. Watershed is a natural unit. Okay, it is a natural unit, and it is used by the synthesizing is connecting development in smaller natural units according to the convenience. Now, what is a watershed development? In simple words, I'll tell you. Just imagine that these are two main mountains. So when there is monsoon, there will be very small rivers or streams which will be flowing during the monsoon. Okay, now if this water is not controlled, it will be wasted. So what will happen? A type of a canal or a type of a flow is being built in such a way that it is connecting all these rivers. It is connecting all these rivers, and that water is directly channelized into the main source or the main basin of the river. Okay, and this is called watershed development, to channelize the water of small rivers into bigger rivers and collecting it. So in this way this water can be directly put into this particular reservoir. Okay, if this will not be done, then this water will evaporate or it will be wasted. So this is called watershed development. In many places it happens naturally, at many places it can be done by human beings. Say, a river basin is such an area where the water of a river along with the water of its branches form a watershed. Say river basin, this is called river basin. Okay, this, as I told you, it can happen naturally too. So in river basin is the area where the water of the rivers or the main and the branches come and get collected. A watershed region is ultimately a river basin only. It is type of a river basin. The water during the rainy season flows forward and finally meets any river. Okay, the development of watershed is an overall approach for development. It is a very good approach. Why? Because this is a good way to manage and control the water of small rivers. If it won't be controlled, it can lead to many problems. One of the problem is the floods. Second problem is the landslide. Third problem is the soil erosion. Okay, so there are many problems that can arise. See, it includes the programs like soil and humidity conservation. It helps to conserve the soil and humidity also. Water shortage can also be helped. Okay, it can be solved with it. Tree plantation can be done, forestation, horticulture, okay, development of pasture land, renewal of the collective resources. So this way, these are some of the main resources or some of the main programs that can also be included along with the watershed development. In all these programs, the land capability and the requirement of people have to be considered. Say the capability of the land is because the soil is not same every places, and that's why this particular approach can be different at different places. The requirement of the people is also to be considered. It needs to the participation of the local people in it. Many schemes are planned by the state and the central government for such kind of programs. Okay, so you understood what is watershed development. The next topic that we are studying is rainwater harvesting. Okay, now rainwater harvesting, you might have seen many a times the photograph of this, the rainwater harvesting into it. Okay, special methods to collect rainwater and conserve it, it including construction of wells, small dams, khet talaudi, etc. Water is conserved through this mediums. This also raises the water level. This may fulfill the requirement of domestic use of the agriculture also. Okay, it may use also include the agriculture also. Now how the water is conserved? So just imagine this is one of the house. Now whenever this house is a beautiful terrace, so whenever there is rain, whenever there is good rains into it, let me change the color of it so you'll easily see it. Whenever there is rain, okay, then there will be a lot of water collected on the terrace. Right, now during monsoon what can be done is, if this water is, this happens to our places every time, if this is not properly utilized, then this water will directly go outside or be wasted. But if a pipe is connected with the terrace, and that water can be directly, that pipe is connected to a smaller tank or well or something else, tank into this particular case, then the water which is collected on the top of the terrace can easily be collected into the tank or any other place for storage, and it can be utilized later on. So this is one of the way of rainwater harvesting. This is how the rainwater is harvested. Okay, and it has lot of benefit. Why it is useful or why it is good, we will see into the next form. Okay, this pipe can be connected to even a pond. Just imagine there is a pond nearby. Okay, then this pipe can be connected to a pond, then that water into that pond will be recharged. Okay, it can be even connected to a well. Okay, and the ground level water of this well will also increase up. So it depends on us where we are connecting that pipe, but it can store the water which will otherwise go useless. So in this way the rainwater harvesting can be done. Now we are going to study about the main objectives of rainwater harvesting. The first is to increase the capacity to conserve the groundwater. See, it helps to recharge the groundwater, okay, and increase the underground water table. Second, it reduces water pollution. It will help to reduce the water pollution. Okay, water pollution will be reduced. Third, it improves the quality of groundwater. The quality of the groundwater will be good, it will become better, okay, as fresh water is added to the groundwater. To save the land root from the water logging, instead of, okay, as I told you, if it will not be channelized, then there will be a lot of water logging, but if it is channelized properly, that will help to stop the water logging also. Reduce the surface runoff water. Surface runoff water, you might have seen during this monsoon period, there will be a lot of water flowing when there is a lot of heavy rain. The water will be flowing speedily on your roads or near your houses, and or in the farms or any places where it can get away. But if it is channelized in proper way, if it is connected to a pond or any other storage places, then can be utilized in a better way. Fulfill the requirement of domestic waters. It will help to fulfill the requirement of domestic water. Requirement during summer, during long dry spell. Okay, during summer and during dry spell. Dry spell means the time when there is no rain. Okay, in the time when there is no rain is considered as dry spell. Fulfill the increasing demand of water. This will always help in fulfilling the demand of the water, which is increasing day by day. making arrangement to store rainwater in underground tanks in multi-story residency in large areas. This happens in cities of Kerala. They've made it compulsory to build a underground storage tank for the conservation of water. If you have gone in old houses of Ahmedabad, they are known as Paul in Ahmedabad. They have this arrangement. They have a pond inside the a well inside the house, which is connected directly to the terrace, and whenever there is rain, that water will be channelized to the well, and it will help the house to utilize their water for the whole year. So this is a very good arrangement for areas where the water scarcity is there, and this will also help to recharge the groundwater as that water percolates in the ground. Percolate means it flows down, it goes inside the ground. So this is a very good way of recharging the ground level water. Things to know: water of the village, water at the border of the village, right? That is Badej village solve the water problem by water storage. Okay, the so-called backward village of Badej in Aravali district understood the value of water and evolved the understanding of water harvesting technique. As I told you, this is a very good way of conserving the water. They converted the entire region into greenery by conserving 2.2 crore liters, that is 2 lakh cubic meters, that is a very high amount of water, of rain water. They created an association of villages and opted to solve the primary problem of water, and they got the cooperation from social institutions of the villages. Okay, so what they did is they actually took help. The cluster of the villages got together and they started this particular conservation technique in each and every houses, and due to it they collected a very large amount of water which was used to make that particular area into a greener patch. With the cooperation of the institution of the people, Badej village were made aware, and they all agreed not to allow the water of the village and to flow out of the village. So they say that the water which was coming through the rain into the village should not be go out, and instead of letting it out, they started collecting it. The village pond spread in only 7 vigas was deepened by 12 to 25 feet. With the financial assistance from the institution, 10 check dams, 11 farm ponds, drip in 25 hectares, pipelines in 10 hectares, deep ploughs, small dams were constructed. See, this all things were done. Why it was done? So that the water can be stored into the village itself instead of letting it flow outside. About 2 lakh cubic meter of rainwater was stopped and stored. See, it was stopped and stored. Stored means why it was stored? Because when you dig a pit and let the water collect into it, after some time, after few days, that water will percolate, it will go inside the ground. When it will go inside the ground, it will increase the ground level water, and this way this was done into Badej village. The stony and the dry land was made greener. Okay, the stony and dry land was made green. This pointed a two-way to others. Our 154 vigas of land in Badej area got new facilities of water supply. Milk production increased by 12.5% in 1 year. That is a great increase. Water storage increased by 20 to 30%. That is a very large amount. This can only be done if you have constructed a huge amount of collective equipments with you, due to which, now as this capacity was increased, what happened, due to which the farm production also increased. See, more water was available for farming, for agriculture, which helped in increasing of the farm product. Today, the Zaid crop are ruffling in 136 viga of land in Badej with the water of Meghraj. Meghraj means rain. So, just with the help of the water of the rain, the village is doing farming in almost 136 viga of land. That is a very large area. So with this particular example, you can understand the power of water conservation, the power of water harvesting. Okay, next is following points should be considered while the water management. First, use water economically for gardens, vehicles, in toilets and wash basins. These are actually the areas where the maximum water is used. Actually, toilet, you will be surprised, is the area where maximum water is used into the whole house. Okay, with a simple flush that you make, a single flush that you make into the toilet will use about 40 liters of water. Just imagine, one single flush, 40 liters of water. Okay, so that usage of water is a very high amount if you calculate it at the end of a day. Second, with the gardens, okay, many people garden, they water their gardens, right? And a lot of people use amount of water for washing their vehicles. So these are some of the places where the water is used. So we should use water, but economically, seeing that it is not wasted too much. Public awareness should be created. Participation in water conservation and its skilled management should also be increased. People should participate and see that the water is conserved. If possible, recycle water. Many industries are doing this. Okay, they are recycling the water that they are using. They are again using it after treating it, after retreating it, so that it can get the maximum use of the water. Save the reservoirs from pollution. Save the reservoirs from pollution. See that the pollution is not done to them. Increase the use of all units of water harvesting structures like well, tube wells, khet talawdi, etc. Okay, these are units for water conservation, so they should be used in the maximum way. Keep a watch on those units which are using groundwater. Okay, there is a incident from USA, right, where a company which was given land for lease, means for rent for a long time, is called lease. That company was using the ground level water to such an extent that due to it, the areas around that particular company started suffering from drought. And later on, there was a case filed on this particular company which had to pay a very high compensation to the municipal, to the that municipal means those authorities of that particular area. So those units, those industries which are using ground level water should be monitored, should be seen that they are not using the ground level water to a large extent. Prevention of deterioration of the water storage unit. We need to see that the units which are storing water should not deteriorate, should not decrease, otherwise the quality of the water will be decreased. And repair the damaged pipelines. Many times you might have seen the pipelines are damaged, and due to it, lakhs of liters of water is wasted as there is a delay in the repair of it. So the pipeline should be repaired as soon as possible. It happens to us in our houses also. There will be taps which are leaking. Okay, there is a drop being rippled every time out of that particular tap. We think that what will happen if there is a drop leaking of one of the drop, but just imagine the drops which leak out of that particular tap for the whole day, and that will amount into liters of water. And just calculate that liters into with the days that the tap is not repaired, it will be enormous. So we should repair the taps wherever we can save the water lines immediately to stop the water pollution. Uniform steps cannot be applied of every area. This is very important. Same steps cannot be applied to each and every area. Local people should be included with their due cooperation. So local people should be included with it, so that they also know the value of the conservation of the water. Thus water should be utilized economically. Ultimately this is the bottom line. Water should be utilized economically. Until and unless we use it economically, we will be helping the environment to be better. Various methods are being implemented for water conservation. See, there are a lot of other methods also which helps to protect the water. Whether the rainfall occurs or not, the water crisis is pending on us. Okay, whether it is a farm or a water place in the house, we have to conserve each drop of water. Water is life. Water is life, and if we will save water, water will save us. So with this we end the chapter. Hope you understood it. Go through all the video lectures, read the textbook thoroughly. It has been seen that those children who have got good marks into social science or any of the subjects, they have read the textbooks thoroughly. Each and every word they have read it, and then it is easier for you to answer the question. So read the chapters thoroughly, go through all the video lectures, they are available to you, and prepare the material properly.